everything that he said. It's true.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. Wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man wala. Amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Watchers, viewers, and listeners worldwide. Worldwide and local as well. What did we talk about last night? I'm sorry? Who are the people that have to make Hajj? When does making Hajj become mandatory? When does it become mandatory? There's a scientific way of proving when you have to make Hajj and when you don't have to make Hajj. طيب. What else did we explain?
We went into the people that is 6 people who has to make Hajj.
6 people or 6 conditions? 6 conditions. طيب. What else did we mention?
If you was a child who made Hajj, you have to make
Hajj again when you get older.
because it was optional.
طيب. What else did we talk about last night? We spoke on the arkan. Further? The main bones of Hajj. The parts that have to be there. And you can't forget. Or it's too crowded, or I don't feel like it, or I didn't have the ability. If you don't do these things, then there's no Hajj. And we said that those things are what? The first one is what? La al-ihram. Then after ihram, tawaf. Then sa'i, wuquf, standing. And Umrah has how many main bones or arkan, pillars? 3. All of them except for wuquf, standing. Asentum. All right. What is al-ihram? What's meant by al-ihram? Ahmed. What's meant by ihram? What color clothes do you have to wear? What's meant by that? Huh? It's a metaphysical state. It is the intention. You mentally prepare yourself to enter into this zone. This metaphysical, spiritual what? Zone. I'm now a Haji. And there are certain physical things that are obligatory upon you. There are certain things that you have to now physically do or physically avoid once you've entered into this metaphysical what? Zone. But those things that are obligatory, that it isn't, or those things are not the actual what? Zone. Everyone understand this? Alright, so let's make an example of this with regards to inner city life. A brother is coming to New York City, right? Let's just make an example of this. This is an example based off of Abu Sa'id. Alright? No one else's example. I don't believe this or not believe this. I'm not saying what I believe. I'm just mentioning based off of your philosophy. According to Abu Sa'id, someone's in Queens, right? And then he's going to cross over. He's going to go into what borough? Brooklyn. Tayyib. So Abu Sa'id is saying that he has to get into a what now? A mental state. A mental what? A mental state. What he wears, how he walk, how he talk, what you holding and carrying, who you with, that has nothing to do with the actual what? Mentally prepare yourself. It's Brooklyn now. Clear. That's metaphysical or physical? That's metaphysical. But from the requirements and the things that now follow that metaphysical state, New York state of mind, is now what? Such as okay, you can't go, let's say for example, hypothetically speaking, one says you can't walk into Brooklyn wearing flip-flops anymore. You understand? Flip-flops are now haram to wear. It's now time to wear what? Boots laced up. Everyone understand this? That's something physical. Okay, let's say you have flashy jewelry or something like that. That's now what? Haram to wear. Once you're in a state of ihram. I believe that the example is more than clear. Once you're in a state of ihram, the miqat, is the border. Once you're in that state, you have to make the intention of what? Seriousness. That's metaphysical. And then there's certain physical things that now must what? Such as, don't wear this, tuck this, have this. Well, how could that make sense or not? So the ihram is not the clothing. The ihram is not the what? It's not the clothing, it's the what? The state. I'm now in a state of Hajj. And then after you've done that, or you enter into that state or that zone, now the physical things what? Apply. Things that you cannot do and things that you must do. Example clear or not? المثال واضح؟ طيب وبالمثال يتضح المقال. طيب. So therefore there are now three things that you must do once you've entered in the state of ihram. واجبات الإحرام ثلاثة, he says. الإحرام من الميقات وهو المكان الذي حدده الشارع للإحرام بحيث لا يجوز تعديه إلى آخر كلامه. The first pillar is that a person, or the first wajib, obligatory act of ihram, is that you have to make the ihram at the actual miqat. At the actual what? You get into that zone before or at the point between Queens and Brooklyn, and not after you're already what? In Brooklyn. Everybody understand this? Right, moving forward. What's the rule on making your ihram before you get to the miqat? Such as Medina. You're in Medina, you're going to make Umrah or perform Hajj from Medina. Can you make your ihram at the hotel? Or do you have to do it at Dhul Hulayfa? You have to do it at Dhul Hulayfa. But it's disliked, one may say. Because once you make that ihram, now you have to wear certain things. You can't wear certain things. It may be a long time. You might cover this, you may do this, you may put on that, you may remove this. Once you do it at the miqat, it's a shorter period of time. What's important is you can't go past the miqat without making ihram. That's the first obligatory act of the first pillar of Hajj. The second one, at-tajarrudu min al-makhit, is that one must remove al-makhit. He has to remove al-makhit. And al-makhit, as we explained last night, is not, or doesn't mean stitched clothing. It doesn't just mean stitched clothing. The author, he says, فَلَا يَلْبَسُ الرَّجُلُ ثَوْبًا وَلَا قَمِيصًا وَلَا بُرْنُسًا وَلَا يَعْتَمُّ بِعِمَامَةٍ وَلَا يُغَطِّ رَأْسَهُ بِشَيْءٍ كما لا يلبس خفا إلا أن لا يجد نعلا ولا تنتقب المرأة ولا تلبس القفازين. One is to remove that which is called al-makhit. He has to stay away from that which is called what? Al-makhit. So a man is not allowed to wear a thobe. And what's meant by thobe is the modern day usage. Because the word thobe linguistically means a piece of clothing. The modern day usage, this. Nor is he allowed to wear a qamis, whether it's a shirt or a shalwar qamis. Nor is he allowed to wear anything that has a piece of head covering that's attached, a hood. You can't wear a hoodie, can't wear a jalaba from Morocco. You can't wear anything that has a what? A hood. Nor are you allowed to wear any type of turban or head wrap. You can't cover your head at all. Nor are you allowed to wear leather socks. You can't wear regular socks or leather socks unless you don't have sandals. Unless you what? You don't have sandals. And when you do wear the khufs, do they have to be cut beneath the ankle or not? That's an issue in itself. Similarly, a woman is not allowed to wear the niqab. Nor is she allowed to wear gloves. She is not allowed to wear the niqab, nor is she allowed to wear gloves. Tayyib? Everybody clear on this or not? You have more cups, Ahmed? Tayyib, moving forward. He says that a woman is not allowed to wear the niqab, nor is she allowed to wear gloves. So let's go back now. Al-makhit doesn't mean that which is stitched. That's an incorrect translation. The word makhit here means that which you normally wear and is fitted around your body parts. It's made and fitted for you for comfort, style, fashion, and protection. The izar and the rida don't necessarily give you that. Everyone understand this? Sometimes they do, but not like what? Actual qamis, which is comfort. Imam covers your head, screens you from the sun, from the dust, or if it's cold outside. Everybody clear this or not? So therefore, that which you normally wear, you're not allowed to wear it when you are in the state of ihram, unless it's worn unconventionally. Let's make an example of this. I'm wearing a thobe right now. The thobe is stitched or not? Clearly stitched. It's permissible for me to take the thobe off and use the thobe as my izar, wrap it around my waist. It's permissible for me to take the thobe off and take the thobe and put it on top of me, Rida. Everyone understand this? That's permissible. Even though it's clearly what? Stitched. But that's not how people normally wear a thobe. So it's not, ليس مما صنع على عضو. Everyone understand this is the proper understanding of the word makhit. So anything that you normally wear, you cannot wear in the state of ihram. Underwear, socks, hat, hoodie, etc. Also, a woman is not allowed to wear, or before that, he says a man cannot wear khuffain unless he doesn't have sandals. What type of shoes can you wear on Hajj? Can you wear sneakers? Some people say no, you can't wear sneakers because sneakers are clearly ma sunni ala udhu. It's wrapping around your foot. Okay, no problem. What do people in Saudi Arabia normally wear throughout the year? Sandals. You know, sandals are constructed around their feet or not? They're not constructed around their feet? They're not made to go into the toes in the heel? Yes or no? You go buy sandals at the store. Do you have to put them on and fix them, or they already, you just slip your what? Everyone understand this? So this is a problem here. And that's something that people normally what? Wear throughout the year. Everyone clear this or not? Al-Muhim, we know for sure the nas where the na'lain. But I'm just trying to prove a point here how certain things don't always remain consistent. They say that the makhit isn't stitched, but it's that which is normally worn and normally fitted. Many pairs of sandals that you can wear are normally worn and normally fitted. And now comes the conflict between wearing open-toe sandals, sandals with the thongs between your feet, or wearing something like Crocs or Clarks, in which the middle of your foot is covered. Or even ships, as they call them overseas. The white plastic rubbery sandals. A good portion of your instep is now what? Covered. And that's ma sunni ala ish. Ala udu, al qadam. Antumayam la. So oftentimes you find different controversy when brothers that make Hajj, they make Umrah, and they say, you can't wear those. You can't have on Crocs. Because the Crocs cover your whole entire foot and it's a strap in the back. And one may say, no, this Croc is considered to be a na'al. It's a sandal. So that can go in and out. Moving forward, he says a woman is not allowed to wear the niqab. But he never said that she cannot cover her face as long as it doesn't touch her face and as long as it's not wrapped on her face. Whether if it's draping from up top like this, then that's one thing. Everyone clear on this? You never seen that before? Many women, they have on baseball caps or poker visors. And then they take a see-through niqab that's not as dark, but you have to like stare to see at her face, and they hang it from up top like this. So her face is semi-covered, but it's not the actual pressed on her face. A woman who wears the niqab is pressing on her what? Her nose like this, her eyes. And to my, there's a huge difference now. If a woman has on a niqab and it's the summertime, she'll get a tan. She'll have a tan line, like a black ring right here, like a raccoon. Because the niqab does what? It hugs the what? Hugs the face. A veil that's covered on a woman's face is not like that. And to mana, whether it be a burqa, or whether it's a wedding veil, or a widow's veil of the old Victorian age, it's not the same. Everyone clear on this or not? It's not the what? It's not the same. The hadith says she can't wear niqab. And also says that she cannot wear gloves. And it does not say that she cannot cover her hands, but she cannot wear gloves because the gloves are what? Fitted on her hands. Now some of the ulama, this is FYI, is a fa'idah, من أهل العلم على هذه الزيادة وجعلها من قول ابن عمر رضي الله عنهما موقوف غير مرفوع. النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام سئل عما يلبسه المحرم فأجاب بما لا يلبسه المحرم، لا يلبس كذا ولا 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 ولا. في آخر الحديث ولا تنتقب المرأة المحرمة ولا تلبس القفازين. من المحدثين من ضعف هذه الزيادة وقال هذا من كلام ابن عمر وليس من كلام النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم على المرفوع. طيب هذا الفائدة يعني ليس لكل أحد. خيرا إن شاء الله. So that's what's meant by al-makhit. As we said last night, if you have to wear the makhit, then you have to make an atonement. You have to offer something. If you have to wear underwear, some people, they have health conditions. Some people may be elderly, or they may have problems with their bladders. They have to wear certain type of sanitary things, or they have to wear certain types of socks, or they have to cover their heads, things like this. Then that's permissible. There's no harm in Hajj. But you have to make a what? Expiation. طيب. Number 3, التلبية. وهو قول لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك. يقولها المحرم عند الشروع في الإحرام وهو بالميقات لم يتجاوزه، ويستحب تكرارها ورفع الصوت بها من الرجال وتجديدها عند كل مناسبة أو عند كل مناسبة من نزول أو ركوب أو إقامة صلاة أو فراغ منها أو ملاقاة رفاق. وتقطع تلبية في العمرة إذا شرع في طوافها، وتقطع في الحج إذا شرع في رمي جمرة العقبة. He says the third obligatory act of ihram is that you have to do the talbiyah. You have to do the what? You have to say the talbiyah. And the talbiyah is when you say labbaik Allahumma labbaik, labbaik la sharika laka, labbaik. Inna alhamda wa ni'mata laka wal mulk la sharika lak. طيب. And we know that that in itself is a long class. The meaning of the talbiyah, and the wisdom of the talbiyah, and the symbolicism of the talbiyah. As Jabir ibn Abdullah radiallahu ta'ala anhuma said, فَلَبَّى بِالتَّوْحِيد. That's the essence of Islam. La sharika lak. You have no partner, O Allah. I am at your service to worship you. Over and over again. You call upon me, I'm here. You call upon me, I'm here. You call upon me, I'm here. Without no second or no third. So the essence of Hajj is to establish Tawheed. And the one who established the essentials of Hajj was who? Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. Who was the one who established what? The Tawheed. From among that generation of the prophets and messengers. People who came before him as well. Nuh alayhi salam. That's not the point we're trying to get to. The Imam of the monotheists is Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. So Hajj, the essence of Hajj is Tawheed of Allah. And not shirk. And not talismans or different incantations or tattoos or necklaces or bandages or things that you wear with names of kufr and shirk in them. As many pilgrims do, unfortunately. Everyone understand this? Hajj is made to establish Allah's oneness, Azza wa Jal. The author says that the one who's making ihram, he is to say the miqat, he's to say the talbiyah from the time in which he goes to the miqat until a certain point. So, if you're in Medina, you're going to Dhul Hulayfa, you've made the intention, you've taken off your normal clothes, you did all of that, you put on the clothing of ihram, you're now in what? And now you start making the what? The talbiyah. And he says the voice should be raised. You should say it loud. And a person should repeat it. Min al-rijal. He says only for men. Women should not raise their voices with the talbiyah. That's the author's opinion. And a person should renew the talbiyah. Anytime something happens, you go up a hill, you go down a hill, you start the salat, you finish the salat, you meet your friends, you meet someone else, you come out the bathroom, you do what? You renew the talbiyah once more. As far as when a person makes umrah, you stop the talbiyah when you start your tawaf. So that means you're going to make the talbiyah when you get off the bus, you put your stuff in the hotel, you're checking your passport, your wallet, whatever, the safe in the room, whatever. You're walking to the masjid or driving to the masjid, walking all the way through the courtyard, all the way up until you do what? Start making tawaf. And some may say when you see the Kaaba. طيب. As far as Hajj, then a person should stop the talbiyah when he begins stoning Jamratul Aqaba. I.e. on the what day? The 10th day. Yawm al-Nahr. The day of the Eid. The day of the what? The day of the Eid. Siddiq, you start your Hajj. You make an Umrah first, right? You're going from Medina to Mecca. Then after you make your Umrah, you come out of the Hajji clothes. You can cover your head. If you're with your wife, you can be with your wife. You can wear cologne, whatever. You're done. And let's say a week later, you go back into Hajj. Now it's time to leave from your hotel in Mecca to Mina. Tayyib? On the 8th day. On the what? The 8th day. Now you're at Mina. You have on your Hajji clothes. You're back in the state of Ihram. You're going to just stay there and just chill that day. You stay there and do what? Chill. You relax. Then the 9th day, that next day, you go where? To Arafah. You're going to travel to Arafah. You're going to go to what? Arafah or Arafat. And then what do you do in Arafat? You make salah, you make dua, you make your prayers. There's going to be a khutbah, etc. People pray. And that's it. Then you want to leave Arafah. And you want to go to a place called Muzdalifah. You go to Muzdalifah at nighttime. You're going to make Maghrib and Isha there and you're going to sleep there. Nothing special to do at Muzdalifah. When you wake up, inshallah, in the morning, you go to sleep with just a few people around you. You wake up and you're what? Surrounded by all swarms of people, no place to stand. So if you wake up an hour early to stand in line and use the bathroom, you make your wudu, you make fajr, you sit, you make dhikr, and you wait till it becomes very bright outside. Now on that day, it's now the 10th day of Dhul Hijjah. And that day is called the day of Eid. The Muslims in America are going to be making the Eid, and they're going to be slaughtering animals. The Hajjis, they're going to do their rites of Hajj. The 10th day is the day of slaughter or the day of the Eid. And there's certain things you have to do on that day. Stone the Jamrah, shave your head, slaughter your animal, and perform your tawaf. So he says you keep making the talbiyah labbaik Allahumma labbaik all the way up until what? You stone Jamrat al-Aqaba on that day. Clear or not? That's the timeline of Hajj. Tayyib, that's the generality, and these are the specifics. Khairan inshallah. So therefore there are several different issues, and hopefully everyone can see the concept of the Hajj and the concept of the Fiqh. How we have the foundation, and within the foundation there are what? Smaller pieces, like a ladder. On each step there is a what? Something specific. But it's all part of a bigger what? Bigger ladder. Everyone understand this? The tawaf is mandatory. And then there are certain things that you have to do regarding the tawaf. Certain things that you can't do regarding the certain fiqh issues pertaining to the inside of the tawaf. And the tawaf is a bigger piece of the Hajj. Like we said before, an example of this is Russian dolls. Anybody know what a Russian doll is? You know what a Russian doll is? You ever seen a Russian doll? A real life one? Tell them what a Russian doll is, Khalid. It's a big doll. Let's say this is one doll. Right? And then what you do first? First you take off the cap, and then you do what? You pull out a smaller doll. Then all the way into the smallest, tiniest wooden what? Doll. And then you put it back together, and it becomes one big what? Doll once more. That's how fiqh is. Hajj. One layer. When is Hajj obligatory? When is Umrah obligatory? What are the conditions of this? What are the pillars of that? What are the wajibat of this pillar? Until you get to the what? Smallest minute detail. And then you do what? Put it back together. Everyone understand this? So therefore we said that Hajj has how many arkan? 4 arkan. And each rukn is the singular of arkan, has what? Wajibat. Everyone understand this? Al-Ihram is the first bone or pillar of Hajj. Ihram. And within Ihram there are what? Several different what? Issues. Everyone clear? So the student of knowledge, he has this doll in his head. And he can open it up, take it, minimize it, close it, and what? Put it back together just like that. Everyone clear on this? A student of knowledge, or learned layman Muslim, let alone talib ilm, let alone a scholar. So this is just one doll here, Hajj. People are going to come to you, they want to ask you questions in intent about what? Salat. They're going to ask you about what? Salat. Is it time to pray? Do we combine our prayers? Can I make tayammum? I can't use the bathroom. A man got into an argument with his wife, he divorced his wife. Is it permissible to divorce your wife on Hajj? Can a woman get a khula on Hajj? It's reality. I've seen brothers and sisters fight on Hajj and argue. This is not a joke. If someone asks for your daughter's hand in marriage, can you marry your daughter while you're making Hajj? MashaAllah, Sheikh, I want to marry your daughter. She's very beautiful. Can I marry your daughter? That's an issue. Everyone understand this? Wudu, tayammum, ghusl. These are 10 different fiqh chapters now. They're all going to apply to what? They can all come up when? During Hajj. So the faqih, the one who is the Hajj scholar, he has to have all these different what? Open, close, open, close. That's fiqh. It's all connected. All right, when I'm saying this, and the more intelligence that you have, and the more you read, the more you study, the more properly trained you are, the easier it is to do what? Pick up and put down and put back on the shelf. And it's branched off, it's layers. Smaller, 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 to the tiny, 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 small little mini doll. Everyone understand this? The most minute details. Everyone understand this? You can't do this unless you have basic knowledge of the what? The biggest what? The biggest doll. Everyone clear on this? And that's we start off the shurut. When is Hajj even what? Obligatory. Everyone clear on this or not? Khairan inshallah. Maybe you can pull up a Google image of a Russian doll. For the brothers and sisters who don't know. And there are other examples. You make a pyramid. And أي شيء. المهم هو المثال. طيب حتى نتصور. حتى إيش؟ نتصور. And oftentimes fiqh is confusing or difficult if you don't break it down like this. Alright, but clear this or not? Moving forward. الركن الثاني الطواف. The second pillar or bone of the Hajj is الطواف. الطواف هو دوران أو هو الدوران حول البيت 7 أشواط وله شروط 7. الطواف is to walk around the Kaaba circumambulate, move around, orbit, circle around the Kaaba. Once more, it's going to break it down now into more downs. And a tawaf, which is a pillar, has 7 conditions. 7 conditions of a pillar, of this, of that. You understand how it works now? It has what? 7 things that must be done and required. There are requirements for tawaf. If you fail to do these 7 things according to the author, if you only did 6 of them or 5 of them, that means you have no what? La tawafa lak. You have no what? No tawaf. And if you have no tawaf, that means you have no what, Abu Sa'id? No Hajj. Everyone understand this? If you have no tawaf, you have no what? No Hajj. Everyone clear this or not? طيب. So 7 conditions. Number 1, النية عند الشروع فيه, is that you have to make the intention before you start orbiting. In other words, you can't just start walking and then after 4 or 5 rounds say, oh yeah, I'm making tawaf. Let's start counting now. La. You had to have the intention when you what? When you started. That this is the first round. Clear on this? Even if you walk 7 times without the proper intention, he says that it's what? Invalid. So you have to have the intention at the what? Sadiq? At the beginning. Number 2. Satur al-awrati idha tawafu taharatu min al-khabthi wal-hadath. As one has to be pure. Physically and metaphysically. Meaning that you have to have what? Wudu. The author's view is that you cannot make tawaf without wudu. And if you have some physical impurity on your clothes, your tawaf is invalid. Let's say you went to the bathroom and got some urine on your clothes. Then your Hajj will be, your tawaf will be what? Invalid. Or let's say a cat urinated on your clothes or defecated on your clothes, or you stepped in some mess of an animal. Then you will be a what? That's khabath. That's physical filth. Your tawaf will be what? Invalid. Maybe one can argue with the fact of the cat. إنها من الطوافين عليكم. طيب, moving forward. Number 3. ستر العورة يد الطواف كالصلاة. One must cover his or her awrah. Because tawaf is like prayer. So, is a man's belly button from his awrah or not? You say it is, right? So that means if a pilgrim is making tawaf and he has his ihram clothing wrapped up and his fanny pack low and he has a big belly, his navel is what? Out. And if he makes tawaf like that, according to the author, invalid, no tawaf. His awrah must be what? Covered up. As far as if you don't consider the navel to be awrah, then that's a different what? That's a different story. Everyone understand this? Or your knee. Your izar comes up what? Over your knee. If you consider that awrah and you made tawaf like that intentionally, then you have no what? You have no tawaf. And if you have no tawaf, you have no Hajj. Fahimna hada? Everyone understand this or not? And this goes to show once more how the issue of awrah tadkhulu fi ahkam wa masail al-Hajj. Someone asks you a question, my knee came out. In order for you to give the Hajj fatwa, you have to be strong in the issue of what? Of the awrah. Alright, understand this? You have to know the hadiths about that or the rulings about that. Tight, moving forward. Number 4. أن يكون الطواف بالبيت داخل المسجد ولو بعد من البيت. Is that the tawaf has to be inside of inside of the masjid. Even if you're far from the Kaaba. Even if you're what? That means that you can't make tawaf what? Outside of the masjid. So does this include the courtyard or not? Nah, I'm talking about the courtyard on the ground. Between the hotel and between the door. He said that's outside of the masjid, but can you pray in the courtyard? So what's the difference now? You said it's in the masjid. They're praying in the masjid. But can you pray outside the masjid? Do they get the rewards for making it inside the masjid? So what's the difference now? Tawaf is different. What's the dalil that's different? According to the author. So, he said inside the masjid. He never said nothing about the courtyard. We're bringing up the courtyard issue now. So, can a person pray in the courtyard behind the imam? Yes. You say yes. Do they get the same reward as praying inside the masjid? You say what? Yes. One could translate that into meaning that that's also part of the... So why can't a person make tawaf like that in the courtyard? Tayyib. Khairan inshallah. Abu Sa'id is going to stick to his guns no matter what. I can respect that. Even if he's wrong. Tayyib. It has to be inside of the what? The masjid. You cannot make tawaf in the street or outside of the gates. Number 6 or number 5. And يكون البيت على يسار الطائف. As the house has to be on your left side. The Kaaba must be on your what? Left side. The Kaaba cannot be on your? Meaning that you're going to go what? Counterclockwise and not clockwise. Everybody clear on this? Another modern day issue. Fatwa I was just reading and Shaykh ibn Uthaymeen rahimahullah with regards to people who form circles around their women. They make human barriers around their women. Like we said in the khutbah, no one can come near my wife or my mother. She's the purest, most sacred woman in the dunya. And not only is she that sacred and pure and noble, but I'm going to make tawaf what? 2 feet from the Kaaba. There's upstairs, there's a different level. I want to do what? Come in the thick of the tawaf and then do what? Have this mindset. This is something wrong with many people. So many men, they'll get together, 6 of them, and they'll form a circle around their women folk, their flock. What's the ruling on this? And what's the harm in this, Khalid? Think carefully. And think geometrically. Disliked. For sure. For sure it's disliked, okay?
And I say this making sense to me.
Anybody else? It's haram. Why? You're harming other Muslims. Causing harm to people. What else? Slowing down the tawaf. What else? Woman says against wisdom. Why come that close with a woman? If you're so afraid and jealous and go far away. But it's something that's more dangerous than that. Is that if these men are forming a human barrier, that means certain people are going to be what? Their backs are going to be towards the Kaaba. If we're in a circle, all walking, I'm walking sideways, you're walking forward, my back is now going to be what? An actual circle, halqa yani. And then the others are going to be like what? Facing the Kaaba, not the right. La. This is the Kaaba. The women are in here. I'm holding his hand and we're walking like this. Now my chest is towards, and then the person in front of the circle, he's going to be on his right side. Wahakadha. And he didn't make the Kaaba on his what? Left side. So his tawaf is going to be what? Invalid. Everyone understand this? Look what ignorance does to you. And what extreme jealousy does what? Does to you. The next condition he says, أن يكون الطواف سبعة أشواط. 7 circuits. Not 6, not 8, but what? 7. And there are many different issues that pertain to this, such as sujood as-sahu. How many rak'ah did you make? 4 or 3 or 5? How many circuits did you make? 6, 7, or 8? Everyone clear on this or not? Or what happens if you break your wudu? And you go outside, how long do you have to wait to make wudu? Can you make wudu with Zamzam water? Everyone understand this? Tayyib? What if a woman gets her menstruation in the middle of tawaf? Many different things that can what? Pop up. Last but not least, he says, when yuwaliya bayn al-ashwat, فَلَا يَفْصِلُ بَيْنَهَا بِغَيْرِ حَاجَةٍ. Is that these things have to be done in succession. It can't be a big, long period of time that goes by unless there is a hajjah. In other words, circuit after circuit after circuit after circuit. And it can't be, I make a circuit, I sit down, drink some tea, relax. 10 minutes, talk on my phone, take a selfie. It can't be like that. It has to be done what? Continuously. Unless there's a hajjah. The wheelchair broke. We had to fix it. Everyone understand this? Or maybe one may say, I had to make wudu. Everyone clear on this or not? Whether you can build upon it or not, تِلْكَ مَسْأَلَةٌ أُخْرَى. Arif kayf? Type. So those are the things that must be done with regards to the tawaf being valid. As far as the optional things, sunnah al-tawaf, al-ramal, وهو سنة للرجال القادرين دون النساء وحقيقته أن يساري الطائف في مشيه مع تقارب خطاه ولا يسن إلا في طواف القدوم وفي الأشواط الثلاثة الأولى منه. ثانيا الاطباع وكشف الضبع أي الكتف الأيمن ولا يسن إلا في طواف القدوم خاصة وللرجال دون النساء ويكون في الأشواط السبعة عامة تقبيل الحجر الأسود عند بدء الطواف وفي كل شوط إن أمكن وكذا استلام الركن اليماني قول بسم الله والله أكبر اللهم إيمانا بك وتصديقا بكتابك ووفاء بعهدك واتباعا لسنة نبيك صلى الله عليه وسلم عند بدء الشوط الأول. خامسا الدعاء أثناء الطواف وهو غير محدد ولا معين بل يدعو كل طائف بما يفتح الله عليه غير أنه يسن ختم كل شوط بقوله أو بقول ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. طيب, next comes the recommended acts of tawaf. Things that you don't have to do. Things that you don't have to avoid, but it's best to do them. It is best to do them. So here we're going to stop tonight with the night ta'ala. What we took tonight, the following. Number 1, we said that Hajj has 4 arkan. The first is ihram. The second is tawaf. After tawaf comes sa'i. And after that comes wuquf. We explained so far the first 2 rukns. We explained what ihram is and what it isn't. We explained what's mandatory and obligatory to do regarding the ihram, and that which is mandatory and obligatory to avoid. And we explained the things that you have to fulfill regarding your tawaf. The things that you what? Have to fulfill, and some of the things that you should fulfill. And we'll carry on with that bidnillahi ta'ala in the next class. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. Wa sallallahu sallam wa barak ala abdihi wa rasulih nabina Muhammad.